Jason McClellan. Give us some news, buddy.
I think I will, Alejandro.
Thank
you,
you,
sir. This is your Open Minds News Brief for Monday, April 18th, 2011. A Russian physicist from the Institute for Nuclear Research of the Russian Academy of Sciences recently put forth a new theory stating that advanced civilizations may inhabit the interiors of supermassive black holes, being invisible from the outside and basking in the light of the central singularity and orbital photons. Basically, this guy thinks that the inside of a charged and rotating black hole is a suitable place for planets with alien life to exist. This new theory comes after a 2010 theory by a professor from Indiana University that proposed Earth could actually be inside a black hole. Are we inside a black hole, Alejandro?
I don't know. Sometimes it feels like it.
I concur.
This story is especially funny and and ironic because what was it just last week or the week before where another scientist said there's probably no alien life out there because they probably all got sucked up and destroyed by UFOs.
That is a very good point, and I'm glad you brought that up. Isn't it funny how we go back and forth?
It's all just very speculative speculation. It's really funny.
People looking for more papers to write, Alejandro.
Yeah, and who knows where the aliens are? They're probably in our nose, like Paul Davies says.
A lot of people think that. I know I've been itching my nose a lot more lately.
That's allergies. The season's changing.
That could be one cause. But it is interesting to think, and I remember this theory coming out last year about Earth possibly being in a black hole. These are interesting things to think about, but we really have no way of knowing. And
the movie Black Hole, they had some really cool little robot buddies though, and I would like to have those.
Robot buddies like Wall-E?
Did you see the movie Black Hole?
I don't think so.
It's a really old one. It's like maybe 70s. This movie about this ship getting stuck in this black hole, and it was, taken over by this. It's kind of like was a modernization of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. This crazy guy had built this ship, and he had these robots that ran it, and they were these really cool little hover robots. I know you like Johnny Five. You'd like this movie.
Well, I'll have to check it out. You keep giving me great movies to watch, so I'll add that one to the list.
Yep.
In other news, UFO sightings seem to be getting more attention lately, and more people are actively looking for UFOs. And because of this, a UFO hotline was just launched by Joseph Kapp in Brooklyn, New York. According to AOL News, Kapp decided to start a 24-hour hotline where people can discuss UFO sightings without fear of ridicule. Of course, other UFO hotlines already exist, like the one the National UFO Reporting Center has and the one Mutual UFO Network has. But it's nice to see Mr. Kapp willing to devote his time to listening to witnesses. That is a huge commitment.
Yeah, he's a busy little guy there. I know him. He's a neat guy, and I like your graphic there of kind of the red phone hovering in Manhattan.
That's actually outside of Manhattan. That's Brooklyn.
Brooklyn with a UFO kind of hanging out with it. That's pretty cool.
Well, and
graphic.
I figure a hotline, you've got to have a red telephone.
Yeah.
Every hotline needs a red telephone.
Yeah.
But kudos to that guy, and good luck to him. I mean, in 24 hours, I don't know if he's manning it all himself.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what Peter Davenport does.
Right, he certainly does, and that takes a lot of devotion, a lot of dedication there, and especially with something that people get so passionate about, like UFO sightings. I mean, when people see a UFO, they get all jazzed up, and they want to tell their story, and they want somebody to listen to them. And unfortunately, more times than not, it's difficult to find people to listen to you when you have that story to tell.
That's why I think it's amazing that MUFON gets hundreds of reports a month because, first of all, people don't even know who they are. So how are they supposed to find? They are able to find MUFON in the first place,
right?
And then report. So Lord can only imagine how many sightings are going unreported.
Well, I think it's incredible how people found places to give their reports before the internet existed.
Yeah.
Now we hop on the internet, we can do a quick search and UFO report sighting and various searches and find many places to report sightings.
I'm surprised life existed on the planet without the internet.
Oh, it didn't. That's just a myth.
Okay. I'm starting to believe that.
Yep. Let's move on with other news. Another man has the interest of UFO believers in mind, and that is Luis Romayo, and he plans to open a UFO motel in Baker, California. He currently owns Alien Fresh Jerky, And after seeing his store attract so many UFO believers who enjoy having a place to share stories, he decided to move forward with plans to build his motel that will be in the shape of a saucer, and it will include 20 UFO-themed rooms. Romayo told AOL News, in addition to offering delicious high-quality jerky, we've been able to create a place here that's like a haven for believers. That's important because for many of us, it's hard to tell who to trust with these stories. Here, there is trust, just as there will be at the UFO Motel. He hopes to have the UFO Motel open in 2 years.
That sounds fun.
I'd go to a UFO Motel.
Yeah. I hope that I would like to earn the right to be a guest of honor there.
That'd be kind of fun. You could have the Alejandro Rojas suite.
That would be neat.
Yeah. So this jerky store apparently used to be located in Nevada. It was around Area 51. And the guy claims that he sort of got muscled out by people who worked at Area 51 and other strange government entities that come in and take pictures and leave and sort of create an unwelcome atmosphere for him. So he packed up and moved to Baker, California, and he's been very successful there. He's got a huge store and so successful that he's going to build a motel. So,
is it a conspiracy or is it that his jerky wasn't very good?
Well, judging by the pictures I've seen of his store, his jerky's probably pretty good. He's got a pretty big store, and it's sort of like a mini museum, too. He's got little statues and other memorabilia there. It looks like a cool shop. So, and obviously he's selling enough of it to build a hotel off it.
Yeah,
so,
that's great.
Yeah. In other news, New Zealand's been a hot topic lately, and it's proven itself to be a major UFO hotspot with regular UFO sightings. A strange flaming ball of light is just one sighting among many in recent flood of sightings. Residents observed the flaming ball in the night sky above Hawera. Is that how you say that, Alejandro?
I don't know. You know, the names of those cities were difficult for me to...
All right. We'll go with Hawera last Tuesday. And according to Stuff, New Zealand's award-winning news and information website, one resident described the object as a flamey-type object with a dark shadow on top, which looked to be a pyramid shape with a round top. I don't know how a pyramid has a round top, but that's what he described it as. And after the object hovered in the sky, the witness explained it turned its flames off, and it looked like it was cooling down. Strange lights in the skies above Hawera and the surrounding areas have been common in recent months. According to Stuff, the Airways Corporation, responsible for monitoring New Zealand air traffic, has no explanation for the UFOs and recorded nothing unusual last Tuesday night when the strange flaming ball of light was witnessed by residents.
Yeah, lots of sightings, and it's cool that they've been printing them, and it's funny because the website is called stuff.co.nz, but that's not like just some goofy site. That's a big news site, a big New Zealand news site. It's just got a funny name, Stuff.
Right.
So every time I post that next to news, like from the Daily Telegraph or from CNN or these other very newsy type of names, and then you put Stuff from New Zealand. But they're better than these tabloids like out of the UK that we have a lot of stories from, like The Sun.
That's right. It's good stuff.
Yep, good stuff.
Got another New Zealand story here. Shortly after the media in New Zealand reported UFO sightings last week, a video showing a strange multicolored UFO was sent to 3 News in New Zealand. The video allegedly shows a UFO above Hamilton, but 3 News hasn't been able to reach the video's submitter. So apparently somebody just sent a video into them, and it's a neat video to watch because this thing in the sky changes colors. It's blue and red and green. Pretty cool. And so 3 News tried to contact the person who submitted the video, but they haven't been able to reach him for comment.
Yeah.
So it'd be cool to get some more information from him.
Yeah, and the movement was weird. It's not like it didn't seem like one single object changing colors. It was kind of like different parts of one object were changing colors, or maybe it was spinning.
It was tough to tell what was going on.
Yeah, it was a great video. And that happens sometimes. Even when I was with MUFON with investigations, sometimes people would submit a sighting and then they don't want to be contacted.
Right.
They're either afraid of ridicule, or sometimes they're like they think the government's going to come after them or something.
Yeah. That's the sad state of affairs.
Mm-hmm.
But also in this video, it's really boggling. It is this object in the sky, and something that moves wildly and sort of out of control like this thing did with all of its flashy colors and stuff. It certainly could be some type of toy or something.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because toys are flashy. That's what toys are supposed to be, flashy. And
yeah, it was. I mean, it looked like it passed over a tree, right? It
Right.
looked like it was up in the sky.
Right.
So, but you never know.
could have been one of those helicopter-y thingies that wasn't necessarily a high-priced, smooth-flying helicopter-y thingy, but
Yeah.
something you kind of throw up and it wobbles around with lights. But
Yeah, that's the first one. That's the first time I've heard someone try to debunk a UFO story saying it's a helicopter-y thingy.
I've read helicopter-y thingy many times.
At least you didn't say it was a sea monkey like Dr. Nye did that one time.
No, don't even call him a doctor. No, I have no idea what that thing is in the sky. It's really cool, and I do hope 3 News gets a hold of this guy and gets some more details about the sighting and where he was, how he captured this thing, and if there's any more information about it.
Yeah, and then if you're listening, don't be afraid, buddy. Be strong, be bold.
Absolutely. Would love to find out what that thing is. Great. Well, legendary actress Shirley MacLaine appeared on Oprah Winfrey's show last week, where she discussed many topics, including UFOs. MacLaine is a strong believer in extraterrestrial life, and on the show, she shared one UFO encounter that took place at her New Mexico home. She explained an instance where 3 UFOs appeared and hovered over her hot tub for 10 minutes. Now, Alejandro, you know I enjoy spending time in my hot tub at home on an almost nightly basis, and I am always staring up at the sky because it's the perfect time to stare at the sky. And I still haven't seen anything while sitting in my hot tub.
Give it time, my friend.
But here Shirley MacLaine says that, she had these 3 UFOs appear. She has so many UFO stories, but she also claims to have seen a mothership at one time.
Yeah. Yeah, she may be a bit liberal in interpreting what a UFO is, but, it reminds me of the story of the little buddies that I talked about in South Park last week, where the guy was hanging out in his hot tub and he would see the UFO sometimes.
That's right. Maybe hot tubs are a good place to be.
Yeah, you're nice and relaxed. Perfect timing. Except you're not going to jump out of the hot tub and grab a camera.
I know. That's what I think every time I'm sitting in my hot tub, too, and looking at the sky. I'm saying, if I saw something right now, how am I going to work this?
I am too relaxed.
Like, figure out how to flop out and run in and dry myself off so I don't destroy my camera with the water on me. And yeah, I'll have to think about that more and have the camera sitting in a better place.
Yeah.
Well, a new trailer for the upcoming film Cowboys and Aliens debuted last week during the popular television show American Idol, showing just how confident the film's creators are that the movie will appeal to a large audience. This movie is being heavily marketed, with trailers premiering to the largest audiences possible. A teaser trailer for Cowboys and Aliens debuted during the Super Bowl earlier this year, the largest U.S. television audience for a single broadcast ever. The latest trailer was shown during American Idol, one of the most watched programs currently on television. So it's interesting, Alejandro. Again, an example of these big production companies marketing to very large audiences, which means they're spending a lot of money. They're confident that people are going to go see it.
Yeah.
Are you going to go see it?
Probably.
I loved one of the headlines or lines, taglines to this movie I saw recently. I believe it was from a paper in the UK. I don't recall which one, but it said something like Indiana Jones and James Bond fight aliens, because the 2 lead actors in the movie are Harrison Ford and
but they left
who
out
is
the
the
cowboy
James Bond
aspect.
character?
The main character is
Daniel-
James. Oh, his
yeah,
name? I can't remember.
Daniel Craig or something like
Yeah.
that. But yeah, funny headline. But this movie looks great. They're really hyping it up now, and it still doesn't come out till later in the summer. Well, last week we mentioned the media attention garnered by The Vault that was recently launched on the FBI's website, which allows people to browse through select FBI files. Files that many believe to be related to the Roswell incident received lots of attention from the media early last week, while later in the week, the focus seemed to shift to files about cattle mutilation. Several FBI memos discussed bizarre mutilations that took place in New Mexico, Nebraska, and Colorado. The Sun recently interviewed Nick Pope, who worked for the Ministry of Defense, about these documents. Pope told The Sun, "These documents show how serious the authorities took the matter and that they were prepared to debate theories about extraterrestrial involvement."
Yeah, it was similar to the Condon report or any of these other reports where there were some really good cases that were unsolvable, but in the end they just said, oh, it's all predators.
Yeah.
When obviously you read these cases, that can't be the answer for everything.
And our last story, a couple in East Texas found what appeared to be crop circles in their yard last week. 4 circles mysteriously appeared in their yard, and they told KLTV that they had a hard time believing that any person or animal could have created the circles. And apparently, plants and bushes in close proximity to these circles have been affected. One blackberry bush in particular now has dead limbs and stopped producing berries. And they talked about this plant and said that just a week before this happened, this blackberry bush was producing all sorts of berries. Then all of a sudden, no more.
Yeah, that's very strange. And it's not the first time there's been effects on plants from this sort of thing.
Right. Well, Alejandro, that is it for the news. Remember to check out these stories and more at openminds.tv, your source for UFO-related news. I'm your Open Minds correspondent, Jason McClellan, and you've been briefed.